Okay, this is the history about APUSH. I might gloss over some of the stuff, so yeah. In the 14s, it was mostly the natives just living around the area. In the 1492 was when Christopher Columbus arrived, and he was here basically to spread out religion, look for gold. That was his basically main goals. And when Christopher Columbus met the natives, he tried to convert them to Christianity, but the natives had no idea what the hell they were saying. So he basically created a forced labor, which was called slavery. He just made them work for him. Due to this, either the natives died to a disease or the natives escaped due to the knowledge of the land. So they bring in African Americans for replacement. In 1607, there was the Jamestown first settlements. So we're gonna skip over some new years, and we'll be at 1751, which will be the French and Indian War. So the British won the French and Indian War. After the French and Indian War, the British got rid of the solitary neglect and decided to apply the Stamped Act of 1765. This led to people being very angry and started a revolt against the British soldiers, and the British soldiers literally had enough of this protest and let the shots fired. That was the Boston Massacre of 1770. Due to people being very angry to this, the people decided to throw tea and caused the Boston Tea Party of 1773. Fast forward a bit, 3 years, 1776, Thomas Jefferson decided to sign the Declaration of Independence, which made the British declare war on them, which caused the American Revolution. So, America took the one in the American Revolution. After the war, they got rid of the British and decided to make the Irish Confederation for the system of the government. In 1786, the Shays Rebellion happened to show that the Irish Confederation was too weak. So in 1787, they decided to have a meeting to create a new constitution, which will be written by the Federalists and Anti-Federalists, basically the government, and they're all deciding on what should be added, like banks, national banks, the Bill of Rights from the Anti-Federalists. The Federalists really wanted central government power. Anti really wanted limited government power. So two different sides, but the Constitution was eventually written in the Federalist favor. But then we added some Bill of Rights in later on. That's how it really was. Yeah. So I'm gonna show the Federalist side from the government. First one we had George Washington. Second we had John Adams. Then third we had Alexander Hamilton. Next one we had Anti-Federalist, Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. Those are the people that I know so far. That's basically it. In 1789, George Washington gets elected as the first president. In 1789, they did the Judiciary Act, which let the federal courts allowed. In 1791, they declared the ratification of the Bill of Rights, which led the Bill of Rights officially in the Constitution, the first 10 amendments. In 1796 is when George Washington fully retired and did his farewell address. The key thing is having no key alliances with the Europe, or you're also going to get pulled in with conflict. And in the same year, John Adams got elected as the second president. In 1798, he wrote the Endless Incidentals Act, but this didn't go up because he violated the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. In the 18th, Thomas Jefferson gets elected as the third president, the first Democrat and Republican president. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase happened, which was sold by France for like $15 million. A lot of money, huh? I agree. We're gonna fast forward a bit, and this will affect the westward expansion. Well, this Missouri should be a free state.
I think we should take it as a slave state.
No, that's not fair.
Well, it is coming fair. Yeah, the level we have 12. It's coming fair.
But what's not fair? Here, let me tell you. I have this book thing. It's gonna
No,
show
no,
all
no,
the
no, no.
It's show the Missouri
What do you have?
Compromise.
What is that?
It's the Missouri Compromise, so block it off.
Hey, that's not fair. That doesn't count. You can't do that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. In 1831, the military forced the Indians out of the land due to the Trails of Tears, and they wanted to do that to have more land for the U.S. I want war.
Why do you want war, sir?
Okay, I said we need war, or else I'm a fire button. Fast forward real quick. In 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo gave the U.S. a buttload of land. This gave the U.S. the manifest destiny which support them go to westward expansion. Okay, we have Kansas and Nebraska. For you, let's just do a voting. What do you think about it?
I think it's gonna be a great idea. I like that idea.
All right. So let's see. So either which one? Okay, if Kansas, Nebraska either gets the most vote on slave state, they'll be a slave state. If it becomes a free state, they'll be a free state. And in 1854, we had the Kansas, Bleeding Kansas, which was John Brown stepping up his game, killing every single one he sees that supported slavery. This is his way to abolish slavery. And, you know, he's doing what he does. And, you know, he reminds me of Santa. But, you know, people say different options. Some people don't like him. You know, I ain't that. I mean, okay, you want? I'm gonna stop. In 1860, the Abraham Lincoln becomes the president, 16th president. This is the best election we had yet.
Sir, the South is trying to disconnect away from us.
Okay. Let's have a war on them.
A war?
Yeah. It's a civil war.
Okay.
During the war, the Emancipation Proclamation Act happened was to abolish slavery in the South. And yep, that was during the war. Or after the war, the North won and decided to make the 13th Amendment, was to officially abolish the slavery since they took over the South. So now, you know, 13th Amendment abolished slavery. Everyone's happy. You know, slavery's done. Good. Maybe. That was the end of Lincoln's presidency. That was on Lincoln's assassination. So Andrew Johnson replaced Abraham Lincoln once he got assassinated, and he didn't really do anything. Yeah, he got impeached. Yep. Hence was the 14th one was to give them full citizenship. Anyone that was born in the U.S. 15th was to give all men voting rights, because you know women's rights wasn't really a thing yet. But you know, all men voting rights, you know, that's the 2 more amendments, you know, and I think that's what happened. So, Ulysses Grant, I don't know if I pronounced that right, he became the 18th president. And Mr. Grant, he mostly, in his presidency, he mostly just focused on giving African American the rights. That's what he mostly just focused on. That was, you know, the Reconstruction era, just them, you know, working on the stuff, you know, rebuilding, you know, make it more equal. I don't think it's equal. They only got women's rights, no problem. And you know, where's that? You know, that's fine. So in 1897, 1917, the Progressive Era happened, which is mostly them who were working on social rights, workers' rights. You know, it's mostly all those stuff. Like they created 14 more amendments. The 16th one was income taxes. 17th was the prohibition of alcohol. 18th was something I forgot, I'm sorry. 19th was women's suffrage. It's really good for women's rights. And you know, just work on social rights, you know what I'm saying? Theodore Roosevelt got elected in 1901. You know, that's pretty cool. You know, yeah, that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, rights, you know. Dear Martha, I appreciate the foods that you give me. I wish I could get more next time. And,
Mr. President.
Dude.
There's an emergency.
This emergency? What is it?
There's a conflict in Europe.
Bro, we learned this before. It's just a war.
Do you want to intervene?
Tell me it's their problem, not theirs. Okay, bro, calm down.
Oh, but do you want to join?
Alright, just tell them that we won't intervene with the war.
Oh, okay.
Finally. Peaceful day. Just, you know.
Mr. President.
I swear to God, you keep messing my but what do you want?
There's a war. They're asking you to join the war.
Oh. You calling us to war?
Yes, Germany.
Alright. Tell them. We'll be at war. You will join the war. Tell them. Tell them that. So after the war, we had a Treaty of Versailles, which was in 1919 after the war. So it was when the U.S., British, and France, and other states had a full meetup. How would they punish Germany? So most of them opposed that they really wanted, punished, restricted them, make them pay for the debt, all the stuff. Which was had a different oppose, which was to, make the League of Nations and don't punish them that much. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it really is. But all of them literally didn't like the idea, So Woodrow Wilson, he didn't really get his moments in. But the League of Nations was basically about like a triple, everyone his allies up so prevent another war. So that's what it was basically what. So they officially signed the Treaty of Versailles in June 28, 1919. But somehow Woodrow Wilson isn't there because he's ill, he's sick, so they signed it without him due to his illness. So he wasn't able to speak out his words. They took his idea for the League of Nations, but they still punish Germany, and something's bad will happen. In 1929, the stock market crashed, which led to people being really poor, and this will eventually lead to a really popular event. 1930, the Great Depression happened. This led to people losing all their money due to the stock market, and it was terrible. People were in poverty, and these people had no money. And Mr. Hoover, who was president at that time, didn't really care. He was like, "It's your problem, not mine. Deal with the situation yourselves. I'm not gonna help y'all out." That's what he basically said. Until FDR, future president, decides that, if I become president, I'll help you guys to recover from the Great Depression. Unlike this Hoover man, alright? I'm a better president. That's what he said. In 1933, FDR gets elected as president, which is, pretty fire. He does a lot of stuff to help out, First thing he did was to make new deal programs to get them out of the Great Depression. He made, new jobs for people to work, about like the environment, He worked on, money, a lot of money to get people out of poverty, and this really helped the people. It's a peaceful day. I can relax, enjoy my work as a president. What I'm saying?
Mr. President, there's a conflict in
There's a
Europe.
conflict in Europe again?
Yup, they're asking you to join.
They want us to join?
Yes, they do.
Fine. Tell them. Let's send the weapons. When I send the weapons, that's it.
Are we gonna get the weapons?
Alright?
Alright.
Alright, that's fine. Go. Go on.
Sorry.
Finally, just what's that? Hello?
Pearl Harbor has just been attacked. FDR, you there? We need to take action. Hello?
We're going to war.
Mr. President, we're winning the war.
Yes, I can tell we're winning the war.
But we have another war in Japan too.
Yes, and I have just a plan.
What's the plan?
Let's bring those bombs in, shall we?
The bombs? You have two of them.
Alright, tell them. Send the bombs in. Make them surrender.
What?
So, the US bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This is the officially ended of World War II with Japan surrender. So they all had a meeting discussing about how will they punish Germany, how will they punish the other teams that were alliance to the Nazis. This was, them discussing, how will they move on later on to the future, other stuff, cool stuff. Cool. So now two great states with great power go against each other. What would happen? So we start with the Berlin blockade was when the Soviet blocked off Berlin. So we have the West and the East. It's kind of separated, families, other stuff.
Mr. President, there's a South Korea war happening.
Oh, we can send in NATO and support them.
Okay, we can do that.
No, we cannot intervene.
There's a conflict in the Vietnam War.
Wait,
And
you
it's
serious?
supported by the Soviet in the North.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. My presidency's
Sir-
over. Bye bye.
Sir?
Bye. So, in 1960, John Kennedy gets elected for president, but you know what's weird? Abraham Lincoln gets elected in 1860. John F. Kennedy gets elected in 1860. Both of those presidents got assassinated. What does that mean?
The Bay of Invasions failed.
Crap. Well, it's
Yeah,
always
I
next time,
failed.
right? Always next time. So, in 1962, this led to Soviet transporting missiles to Cuba to give them bad range in the U.S. area. Crap. The Soviet is transporting missiles to the area. What do I do? 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 Do I declare war? What do I do? Wait. We declare war. Declare war. Declare war. What the? Hello?
Albert, deal for you. You take us out of Turkey, we take us out of Cuba.
What? I see it as a deal. I transfer my missiles out of Turkey, transport missiles out of Cuba. In 1963, Lyndon B. Johnson takes over as president since John F. Kennedy gets assassinated. In 1964, Lyndon B. Johnson makes the Great Society, makes a lot of good stuff to focus on society, African American, social rights, other stuff. But then another issue was Vietnam War. It wasn't going well for the South, so he sends in U.S. troops to help aid the South in the Vietnam War. This causes some new cultures arising from like the youth arising, protesting against this Vietnam War, not trying to, they don't want to be in the war, of course. This, counterculture stuff. In 1968, Richard Nixon gets elected as president. While the countercultures were slowly increasing, this later led to Nixon too. So Richard Nixon decided to send the U.S. troops back home, so they will not be intervening with the Vietnam War, anytime. In 1972, they signed a treaty, the anti-ballistic missile treaty, which was between Soviet and the U.S. Yeah. Everything was going pretty well until the Watergate scandal happened in 1972, which, this was a major backfire on Nixon. Okay, I know that I've done the Watergate scandal, but it doesn't mean I'm not a crook. Unless you guys, but one thing and only. Just one thing. You guys can catch me alive, buddy! In 1976, Jimmy Carter gets elected as a president, 39th president. So I think the only thing that he did during his presidency, we haven't did that much about it, but he signed another treaty with the Soviets. Just love signing treaties. So in 1980, Ronald Reagan gets elected as president. I know this skin doesn't look the same, but this is the best skin I can find. In 1987, we signed another treaty, INT. I don't know what it really means. I should really search it up. Hold on, guys. The Intermediate Nuclear Range Treaty. That was, I searched it up, of course, But, that was a treaty signed about, I mean, yeah. So, during years on, Ronald Reagan, he is getting locked in, bro. He's getting ready for war against the Soviets. He is, he's fire on ready. He is ready to go on war, you guys. So, we were planning on war against the Soviets, but Soviet has fallen. Because of us, we, the U.S. Okay, guys, it wasn't really like that. The Soviet had really problems with their economy, their system. It kind of just broken down, all the states, that's what kind of led to the fall. Well, that was a lot of talking, wasn't it? But, journey hasn't come to an end. But yes, I did miss over a lot of stuff. But, the journey's always over. There's one thing I gotta say to y'all before we go to this AP exam. The history of liberty is the history of resistance, from Woodrow Wilson.